I'm gonna
You
hit
just
the
like
go
you just
live
like
button, and I have now hit the go live button, and let's
wait.
see
So you
if
just
it
go
goes
like
live.
you just like go like all transparent so we can like see your intestines and like shit, just see the shit
be
pumping through
Yeah,
your
pretty
body.
much. Pretty well, no, not exactly, but
That's
dude,
pretty cool.
so if I was pale, like pale looks very like a very pale beige. When I get sick, pale means like white as a sheet, like pure paper white. You can tell if I'm going to be sick or if I have a serious disease. I'm just like white as a motherfucker.
I have to
Your
admit,
mother just has a color chart next to you, and it's it's eggshell. So you're not that bad yet.
I can't go back from this. Now I have to imagine you every time you get sick, you turn basically into a deep water fish.
Oh God. Yeah.
Your eyes just glaze over you, and like you have like you have like an antenna that pops out that glows.
Hello and welcome to Fast Food Thursday, National Geographic edition. We're in the Mariana Trench.
National ethnic.
Yes.
Today we are examining the French.
It is so funny that they just got to put tits on the cover that they sold to kids. They get away with it all the time. They do not give a shit.
That's the French.
I mean,
That's the
let's be
French.
honest,
They're highly sexual.
Let's be honest. It was like yeah. The first pair of tits most people saw were a pair of like long, flappy, like 70-year-old tribal woman.
You'd be so it's surprising that like not a lot of people have that fetish, or maybe they do.
Yeah,
I remember
I
the French also having like an educational cartoon about sex stuff with a hamster or something in it. I don't remember exactly what the name was.
Anyway, today is a very special day because capitalism has been victorious again. Fucking. So some people put money together to get a separate anime channel on the Discord server as a joke, and I said, yeah, sure. And then Critter made the big mistake of offering me €100 for it.
I enjoy the meme of that. So.
Yeah.
Oh
so I'm gonna pull.
It's money well spent, definitely.
Another guy, Enthusiastic Perseidus, who will be in this very room shortly, actually, because I'm gonna drag him up. He offered €25, and I took both of the offers.
you mad lad.
Here he is.
You goddamn capitalist son of a bitch.
Welcome to the
Hello.
Posadas.
Enthusiastic Perseidus.
Salty toothpaste.
So what you're telling us, Burger, is that we're gonna buy you the rope that we're gonna hang you with when the revolution
exactly.
comes.
So I do have to say this is like a one-time deal. I'm not gonna do something like this again because it feels really dirty.
There would be so many channels next.
But it's the best money I've ever made though. Hey
what I
there,
hear is
Crusaders,
we
how are
need
you
to
doing?
I hope
More
you
money.
invest in Bitcoin and it becomes a lot of money.
Can we check maybe? Can we not talk for a second so I can check Perseidus mic levels? Can you talk a little bit?
Yes, sure.
No.
Okay, you're actually fine. That's fantastic. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is unfortunately make Discord invisible on the stream because I don't want people to be able to see whatever secret server source we have. I don't know if that's could even be a problem, but I definitely don't want to fuck it.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into the server settings and no, actually that's not how you make a new channel. Going to interest channels. You want what did you want the name of the channel to be, Critter? Because you had naming rights.
I'm pretty sure I DM'd it to you as well.
Yeah, but I have forgotten this.
Oh boy.
Well, do you want to say it, Posadist?
I've fucking forgotten it.
God damn it.
Let's...
It's going to be Weeb Ethnostate.
Yeah.
I just would call you Weebers.
Oh, that's cringe.
Oh my god, Weebers.
The people have chosen. Democracy is a mistake.
Good for.
Finally,
was the winner
we got a separate state for all the Weebers.
Finally.
What was the winner, anyway, in terms of
That
the
was
vote?
Meat and Flow State.
Really?
What is it?
The second place was kind of lame.
What was
Let me
second place?
see. Second place.
So this is kind of weird. People should
What?
be able to see it and post in it now.
Let's see.
Uh,
Interest channels.
Is it?
It is in interest channels. I'm just gonna. I might have to go into the settings again. Just test it out.
It's
Okay.
there.
Can someone with a standard roll?
Ah.
Okay, there we go. Can some?
Yeah.
Potatoes, I'm gonna take away your eyed person for a second. See if you can post in it still. Can you try
No.
again?
I can't.
That's
Of course,
excellent.
fanboy.
Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it right. We got it set up right.
It's gonna stick.
What is? What
You
was
make
the
the
brown
channel, make
roll
the
you
channel,
had?
and block Placetus and Critter from using it.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
For
Hello
corrupting
and
democratic
welcome
process.
to the easiest 125 euros I have ever made in my entire life.
Next, hey, Burger, this is a
You are
problem.
a filthy
Next-
whore burger.
Okay, man.
Hey, Burger, next April
during the coming
Fools,
months as well.
next April Fools, I'm gonna pay you to create a furry channel and ban all the furries from posting in it, including myself.
Oh.
Based. See, there's
Oh,
also
no.
just to announce this. There's also going to be a world building channel, but Critter hasn't come up with a name for it yet.
Oh,
Dang.
that's
If
a
anybody knows
great
the funny
idea.
name,
World building. World
That's a
building,
great
huh?
idea. That's a great
Hey,
idea.
Hey, Burger, I wanted to ask you if you could scroll up in the studio. Would you eat that? It's a giant cheese curd on two pieces of bread.
What is a cheese curd?
Yeah, what is a cheese curd?
It's cheese. A cheese curd is what turns into cheese. It's like
What?
it's
What?
separated curds and whey.
So it's
yeah,
deep fried
it's
cheese.
like curds and ways. It's like
It's
the
the
curd.
clots, basically.
It's the,
Like,
yeah,
you,
it's the milk clots.
yeah,
So,
you get some
so-
raw milk and then you add some bacteria. And then you
Why
get some
would
clots,
I eat
and
that
then-
instead of cheese?
yeah,
Because
why?
it's pretty tasty. It's
It's probably more fatty, more creamy.
dude, it's so fatty.
Dude, that sounds
It's
like
pure
cancer
fat.
in a stick.
It's
Cancer.
it's pure fat and salt, and it's delicious.
Oh, that sounds like good
I
cheese.
am genuinely having an aneurysm. As a French person, this offends me on such a level
And
that
yeah,
I just...
Wisconsin pioneered it.
The guy
Oh,
that
did you?
made
I
it
heard
got
this
hard
the other
at
day.
the
Bree is offended. God damn.
I heard this the other
Hey,
day.
brie is delicious, and I will fight you on that.
Brie is really good.
No, I will fight you.
Brie is fucking based. I used to
Yeah,
hate
and what-
brie,
what-
but
what
now I
cheese-
really like it.
What cheese do you Netherlands swamp Germans
We
make?
make Gouda.
Oh,
Yeah.
the swamp Germans make really
It's
good
like
cheese.
it's like the most generic bread.
Wait,
cheese.
hold on.
It's the vanilla of cheese.
Hold
I
on.
like
Yeah,
Gouda.
exactly.
Swamp-
You don't have a
swamp
right to
German.
criticize cheese. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
They
No,
speak
no.
a
The
funny
Dutch
French-
make really good
Swamp-
cheese. Maasdam cheese is
German.
very good.
We need to bring attention to this. Frickin' swamp Germans.
Swamp Germans. What
Come on,
the
think
fuck?
of it for a second. They live in a swamp, or what used to be a swamp, and they speak a funny German. Swamp Germans.
By that
I'm
logic,
sorry,
all
I'm
of
sorry, I
humanity is
It's
a
just
swamp.
you call them swamp Germans, and I make the connection to swamp Arabs that like Saddam Hussein like massacred. So I'm just like, what the fuck?
There are swamps in the Arab world.
Burger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. along the
Mesopotamia.
Tigris. Yeah,
Mesopotamia,
along the
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
desert.
and
Yes,
No, it's not
Cole?
a desert. It used to be very, very green. Some
Used
parts
to.
yeah,
still are.
that's why it was called. That's why. That's why it was called the Fertile Crescent.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's a desolate wasteland full of artillery holes.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
yes,
that's not our
Cole,
fault.
say what
I mean,
you
it's
want. I
kind of- I
cannot
mean-
control these people. I'm sorry.
So good. I just wanted to show my grief. I've been looking today again into finding that fucking Mass Effect role-playing system that I once found. Someone sent me a 5e conversion. I said I don't like Dungeons and Dragons. Have you another one? He sends me Starfinder conversion. Not a bit better.
Oh, goddamn.
then I get a word of that makes me especially salty. There was a system which was endorsed by BioWare itself, so it must be good. It looks good. Too bad I can't read it because it's only available on French.
Wait, what
pass it to me.
game are you
Pass it to
trying
me.
to do?
I can translate.
I am looking into finding a fucking system for Mass Effect for pen and paper.
Oh man, I've been
me,
trying to.
I'll
I have
translate.
my own system that I still want to playtest, but because I never get around to anything in my life. But I have some good ideas to run Mass Effect in it. But to be fair, you can run. It's a system agnostic system, so.
Core, just pass it to me. I'll translate it for you.
That's actually
All right. Give me a second. I'll send you the link. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it depends. Do you want to translate it in English or do you want to translate it in German? Because I can't
English.
do German. Okay.
English is completely fine. Thank you.
Ooh. Whew.
No, Brady, call them Chinese moon scribbles.
Oh wait, that's 120 pages.
That wouldn't
so-
even fucking fit.
Oh,
Like,
120. Oh,
It's gonna be
you've gotta
really
be joking.
confusing when people just continue posting anime in Anime Kingdom. And I'm never gonna explain
seriously,
it.
I'm gonna post Japanese propaganda in there.
I'm just
Oh, yeah,
never
please
gonna
do.
explain.
Oh wait, no,
That
I got one. I knew textile embroidery.
though Chinese
Yes.
cartoons.
I knew
fixed it.
textile embroidery. Call
Yes,
it that.
very much so.
I've seen
Chinese cartoons are gonna be.
I've seen the Weeb ethnostate used in like far right servers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Well, they call everything in the ethno state.
Well, isn't that just funny though?
Like
that we just have one.
no,
channel, it
everything
seems.
is like everything in this channel is like insulting that thing, and Chinese cartoons is the best insult to anime.
Yes, very
Yeah,
much
because
so.
It is.
so it's some Nazi shit I find. Like all anime. It's honestly, if you like anime, you're a Nazi. That's kind of a given.
It's
That's
kind of
why I read
cringe, bruv.
I am in fact a Nazi.
Anime is cringe, bruv.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
I know the liberals actually like Hololive, which is completely different.
Well, Hololive is technically anime, so technically cringe, but you get to see
If you want to say
boobies and interact
technically,
with people.
Disney is technically anime.
Here's something that accidentally.
I have no rebuttal.
Here's a Tumblr moment. This flew across my dashboard the other day. Is a Twitter exchange from last year. So Liz Wheeler says, "So churches are not essential, but abortion clinics are essential." Got it. This guy goes, "Yes, because abortion is healthcare. Glad I could clear that up for you, Liz." And some other fella goes, "Well, 600,000 babies a year would disagree with you." And he says, "I could easily win a debate against 600,000 babies."
That one was so awesome.
Especially dead babies.
Yeah, they what are they gonna do?
This is a dead baby joke, and I love it.
Oh,
It's such a fantastic.
What are you gonna do? Die?
Because
his
I was at a
face.
point where I was almost like, fuck, I don't want to fucking be on Twitter anymore. But then I saw this tweet last year, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
oof.
Oh goddamn. Oh.
Homo sapien, you
Oh,
suck at
can-
Risk of Rain as a bandit. Boo.
Okay, can I mention something that made me decide to stay on Twitter as well that
Yeah,
happened
sure.
a couple weeks
Go
ago? So this is John Romero, the guy, number 2 behind, id Software and everything. So the reason this is so funny is because another of the original id Software crew called Sandy Peterson, he's been on Twitter and he's been posting up like stories from the old id Software days about like developing Doom and Wolfenstein and Quake and all this. And he's been telling all these stories, and like he would make a post saying like, now the rocket jump in Quake, that was an idea that this guy had, and John Carmack thought it was a great idea, so he implemented it. And then John Romero would come in and say, "Hey, Sandy, I hope you're doing well, but your info is inaccurate. It was actually this guy who did it." And it told John Carmack, and he just went through like each of Sandy's tweets and just corrected every single one of them. And it's like, Holy shit,
Ouch.
it is brutal. And somebody asked him how he could remember all this, and he's like, "Oh, I have hyperthymesia. I remember and can recall every memory of my entire life."
That is insanely
So
cool.
there's an
If he
eidetic memory.
genuinely does have that, that is
Well, it also kind of
Fucking-
explains why he kind of comes off as he kind of came off as a huge asshole in the 90s because he would recall things that other people got wrong.
In some instances,
And he said it in such a matter-of-fact tone that people just took it the wrong way.
Damn.
Like
Only
it
if you-
was
if you
better than
remember
you.
everything that happens to you, then
Yeah.
basically like people being annoying will compound a lot faster.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty
Hey.
it's not an easy life to have.
Yeah.
It's like when it
Yeah.
comes to
Hey.
having a really good memory, it's the worst possible version of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, it's just I just loved how every time he started a tweet, he was like, "Hey Sandy, I hope you're doing well, but
But then
Like-
again,
Dude, fucking
impeccable wank bank.
yeah.
yeah,
Like-
oh god, yeah."
What do you?
It's like, you
If you can remember every single moment of your life,
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah.
It's an impeccable wank bank.
Yeah, you'd only have to watch anime once.
Talking of wank bank,
It's you would never. You wouldn't even like. You know how there's porn that you can't find anymore. That wouldn't happen to you either.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This whole proposition sounds better and better every second.
I'm so happy when I found an old video again, and it's like, oh, nostalgia.
It's like, yeah, the memories.
Damn.
And even though it's just a really bad quality video now, but it's nice.
I love that this is the kind of shit we get nostalgic about.
The thing about like porn is like sometimes I'll like go back and I'll find like a video I watched that was like from the 80s, and then because of my depression and shit, I just go like,
Full
I just feel like this girl's probably dead.
Damn. This
I'm like-
I have had this with like, oh damn, this the porn industry is just exploitation of girls, and it's like, God, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to jack
yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's like,
You
got
can't
boner.
have
I got
anything
boner.
nice in
Why
this
am I
world
so
anymore.
fat?
That's
Oh,
why
yes.
I furry art.
That's why I have fat to Hanimu. It's the only thing that won't make me think like, oh fuck, I'm participating in a system that genuinely does exploit
to be
people.
fair, if you watch it on Pornhub, or even better, if you torrent your porn, you're actually like taking away business from that industry. So you're harming the industry, really. That's how you free these women.
See, what I do is I subvert the porn industry by commissioning artists to draw the porn I want.
Which is, I do
Exactly.
like the whole thing
Furry
where,
porn.
like you have this thing on Pornhub where, and probably also other sites where a lot of, not just girls but mainly girls now have. I mean, this is the thing with OnlyFans as well, where they essentially get to control their own commodification. And I think that's a very, very good thing. It's a very good development. It has led to a lot of porn where you can't see faces, but you know,
Yep.
it's. I feel like that is a drawback I am willing to take.
I mean, is it really even a drawback at that point? If she's got a hot body but a shit face, you'd rather see the body, wouldn't you?
No, face is very important to me. I need to see
Okay.
the
I
face.
disagree.
Oh my God, Brady!
Then you get the moms with 11-year-old
No, no,
kids
I-
who
I-
have OnlyFans accounts.
I'm sorry,
No, I don't-
who has
okay,
OnlyFans accounts?
A mother with an 11-year-old hasn't had an OnlyFans account, and her husband asked her to stop.
I mean, that.
I mean, as long as the 11-year-old isn't the subject matter.
No, the mom was, but she got bullied at school for it. So
That is kind of messed up. Like,
yeah.
that
I
she
just
got
hate-
bullied for it.
it is messed
Brady-
up, but it is to be expected.
Yeah. I mean, they're kids. Kids are the worst.
Kids are cruel.
That's why I
Have
want-
you?
Wait, are you talking about
good.
kids? Are you talking
And
about
come
kids
full circle
walk-
to abortion.
Are you talking about like kids walking in on their like moms?
no,
while
just
they're doing
the mom
OnlyFans?
having an OnlyFans account is enough for the kid to get bullied.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
To be
Oh
honest,
yeah, I heard
right,
about that.
Any,
Was-
any,
that's fucked up.
anything your parents do that is somewhat questionable, I guess you could say, will get you bullied in school.
Frankly,
Yeah, but
anything will
imagine.
get you bullied at school. Like it
Yeah,
just
anything
you will just get. But if you have
You-
the
right, the
literal
thing
just
is-
perfect life, like your both of your parents are considered the coolest people in the universe by every objective measure, and you have the ideal life and are friends with everyone, you're still gonna get bullied because that's what
hell, the
happens.
kid was bullied for being
But
in
that's
Star
good, though.
Wars. It's like, for
That's
fuck's
true.
sake.
Oh fucking god! They're already posting fucking depressing shit in Weeb Ethno State. Why are you doing this? Why?
What did they do?
Wait,
What are they doing
what,
to the
wait, what are we
chat?
doing in there?
Just
Let's
posting
take
depressing
a
shit.
huge risk and look into what's happening.
Do it.
All of these people are already way too young for me.
Yeah, they're just like posting.
No,
high
no, they're
school.
actually 3,000 years old.
Oh no.
Like those lolicons.
Yeah. I was
Like
one of
those
the options of
lollipops,
3,000-year-old lolly.
Yeah, like those lollies.
I hate that the one time like somebody takes like the Lovecraft mythos and puts it to manga like directly. It's Nyarlathotep and he's a lolly.
I mean,
Or do you mean a Shotokan?
granted, if it is really Nyarlathotep, he would totally do that.
My favorite creature in
that about
all of the
turning?
Lovecraft mythos. Actually, my favorite Lovecraft joke was this like Lovecraftian hotline, right, where you would just call in. And it's just you just hear the end, like the customer service rep end of the line, and he goes, "Excuse me? Oh, you mean Shub Nagurath?" It's just like,
Nice.
oh god, what am I gonna?
Oh.
Okay, I can't. No, I'm not gonna just do all that. You're welcome, Joy, for this channel. Oh right, you should probably thank Critter and Poseidus for it though, because
All right, I'm gonna post hell of a boss screenshots.
all I
in there.
did was just
That's not
literally
anime, that's
have
Western.
social capital.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's
I
the
told
what's...
you needed to activate your community burger. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Those are imps. They're not furries. They're imps. They're in the Bible.
Yeah,
I love that
so it's
now
not
what we
anime.
do is just
I
we
mean,
watch,
child pedophilia is in Bible. Doesn't make it right.
we watch
doesn't make
Kashi
it wrong
play
either.
video games.
Ooh.
That's just fast food thirsting. Just occasionally look at memes in the studio chat.
Yeah. God damn.
It's a nice evolution.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bert,
listen,
did you read that?
Can we
Burger.
just have 1 second to pay our respects to this woman, to a Queensland woman who jumped into the ocean to rescue beer kegs during dramatic flooding? God bless you, Queensland woman.
Yeah. Well, she
God
has to
bless
return
you.
them, otherwise she loses her deposit. She has to
Holy
return them.
shit. Mad
Got a good
respect.
woman meme.
Yeah.
Find it.
Burger, could you please read out the post from
My penis is an NFT.
Yes,
From
found it.
from a deathneck?
Let me tell you something, boys. You may have hashtag swag, but you'll never have class.
Okay, so
Holy shit.
That it's
Dude, you could do
so-
some pretty good voice
Unfortunately, he
acting.
looks like
I
a
do
failed-
do voice acting.
so you guys.
You
should
can
tell
hire
me
me for voice
tell
acting.
Burger, This is too NSFW.
Oh my god.
He
Oh,
looks
wow.
too much like a failed white Big
Is
Smoke.
that too spoiler? I put a spoiler.
No,
alert,
it's
right?
fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Good.
Now,
It's mostly
Brady,
just
that dude's
text, funny.
Brady, that dude's from the whole back in the early 2010s when it was like the Reddit atheists.
Yeah, is this? This seems like a very old-fashioned type of guy. Like you know, this is the kind of guy that was around early last decade.
Early last decade. Try the last 2 decades.
Hey, Burger, you want to see pain?
What?
No.
What? See, this is this is a thing, okay? Because this is something that happened. We had this when I was in boys' home. We had this like cooking class because you have this section of boys' home where you become like independent, where you basically live on your own in like a small living apartment complex. And they would have this cooking course where they would teach us how to cook. And it was all weird shit like how to make guacamole. It's like, I do not have the money for fucking guacamole.
Yeah, it's
I
like
can't get avocados.
Yeah, it's like
Well, then you can become a millionaire.
tell me how to brown ground beef and like how to make a salad and tacos. So I don't spend like $1
what
on them.
heat should I cook what food? Because I always used to do everything on maximum heat, and it didn't work. What is this? Okay, what is this? Should I read this thing that Crafty posted? Is that a thing that I should do?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it worth it? Okay. I never thought I'd be here, but I am now. Every friend I make online doesn't work. I end up losing them. Oh my god, I have big problems when there's no proper like interpunction. I can't make IRL friends because my mom keeps moving. And it's hard to make friends now, so I go on Discord and look for people. But after 1 to 2 months, I tell them my real side. I am homophobic. And no one likes that, but it's just a hot take of my personal opinion. Anyways, to get to the point, my friend got mad, unfriended me, and said, "So stop being a little simp with your stupid T-girl." He was so gay, I was gonna unfriend him anyway. I may just be super straight. I'm only this way though because my mom thinks I'm gay, which I'm not. I'm a worthless child. That's homophobic. I only post so much lewd things so that one day my mom finds out and will know that I'm not gay. Oh my god. The cope.
Dear Lord.
I'm trying to tell her I'm not gay, but she declines it. I'm only 13. Give me a break. Oh my god.
I can't. I don't understand how
If
people.
there was a parent genuinely like that, I would go, right, Child Protective Services, and you need to lose your livelihood right the fuck now.
That reminds Burger, the way you have read that out, that reminds me heavily on the Harry Potter fanfiction you read on stream.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is a great take.
How can you remember that? I
Rip my
blocked
ears.
that.
Yo, guys, I have this girl's nudes. Should I keep them? She died, so I don't know. Since I have them and she's dead, they're kind of like rare-ass Pokemon cards. Discontinued by manufacturer type shit.
I need that mindset of this dude. Like when I said, like I look at old porn videos and I get depressed because the girls died. I need to think like this guy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
because like she's
Rare.
not being hurt anymore by this.
Yeah.
I'm just collecting the rarest of peppers here.
It's
Oh
just
no.
fucking
Oh no.
nude NFTs.
I just want to say the Lord Crafty post. I was just like, somebody calls Child Protective Services and they go over and they just shoot this kid. It's like, you're a lost cause.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's even worse. Like you shoot the parents and then you shoot the kid. Like, nah, we're not gonna be able to save you.
what
Sorry.
We
is-
don't have to. We
what
don't
is
have to
this
fund
game?
for this.
Oh no. Fellas, y'all okay with your girl looking like this?
This
See,
is
nothing wrong. Vegeta did it too.
Oh, that's funny.
this is
Nice.
Risk of Rain. What is that?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the
Oh, Risk of
best.
Rain
It's
is
the
fun.
best. It's the best roguelike you will ever fucking play in your life.
I
Basically-
think it's like the new Valheim or something.
Yeah.
Like the new
Yeah,
Valheim.
No,
basically
it's back since it's been out since 2019.
Yeah.
That doesn't
No,
matter.
no, basically to summarize it, it's like a battle shonen.
Oh,
Battle Shonen.
Yeah.
If,
You know, like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto.
I mean, I can't disagree, but there's so much better ways of saying it.
Rockets
Is it
coming
like
out of your
arena
ass.
based or open world or what? What is it?
Arena-based roguelike where you just continue fighting waves upon waves until you activate the teleporter. Then you fight the teleporter boss until the teleporter activates, basically, and then you just keep going until you either loop back round or you finish off the last
Die.
boss.
Okay. What happens after you finish off the last boss? Do you get the to buy?
No, but depending on the difficulty, you can get abilities, you can get skins, and surprisingly, it's not free to play, and nor is it pay to win. Thank God for that.
Nice.
And it's hella fucking fun because there's stuff like items to unlock doing specific tasks. So, like, say, oh, you need to fail a shrine 3 times. So, pay for a shrine and fail 3 times specifically, and you get one of the most broken items in game.
That's the Paul's hoof, right? Goat hoof, right?
Yep. The best and most broken item in the game.
So is this, in terms of loot, is it like Borderlands a little bit?
Ooh, yes, you can get...
Yeah.
Enhanced image.
Because I do
Oh my
love...
god.
I have been playing a lot of Borderlands 3 again recently, and I really like it.
I should mention Risk of Rain 1 is a side-scrolling game, and
it's a 2D
Risk of Rain
platformer.
2 is third-person.
Yep.
Third-person shooter.
Oh,
I mean, I can see that.
The one thing I will say, if you like difficulty, play Risk of Rain 1. If you like item collecting and just the vast amount of content, play Risk of Rain 2.
I really do like item collecting and a vast amount of content, actually. I'm a big fan of both of those things. I am not a fan of difficulty.
Also the multiplayer is a lot more functional in Risk of Rain 2 than in Risk of Rain 1.
I love how in Risk of Rain 1 you had the difficulty meter up in the corner, and the longer you spend playing the round, it goes up in difficulty, and it starts out normal, like easy, medium, or very easy, medium, hard, very hard. Stop this! I see you, and then just screaming.
I'm coming for you.
Oh yeah, I see you. I'm coming from you. I'm coming for you. I'm screaming, and then just screaming.
Just literal screaming, like ah!
Yeah.
No, this is still in the second one. In the second one, there's still
it's
that.
in the second one as well. Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you can see the stream.
Yeah, because the game just gets so fucking intense.
Oh yeah. In the second game, intensity is literally an understatement. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not as hard as the first game because you've got Z, Y, X movement, but it's still bloody hard. Like, you got magma worms, for Christ's sake.
I do like that about like Borderlands, because I have this. I recently in Borderlands I got this really fucking good Vladov gun, just a pistol that does insane. Like, I had a boss fight where it was done in like a minute.
Yeah, you can do this in literal seconds.
The thing that happens in Borderlands as well is that especially if you have like expansions, you get very easily overleveled, which bothers me because it kind of makes the gameplay not fun.
Here in Risk of Rain, it's not weapons you collect; it's items.
Yeah.
So you've got your regular items like Paul's Goat Hoof, which is the most broken item in the game, just like literally Speedy Gonzales. You start becoming Speedy Gonzales the more items like that you collect. Then you've got Soldier Syringe, like increases your attack speed basically. Teddy Bears, which for some reason reduce your damage, reduce the damage you take. I don't get how that works.
No, it's a chance to just completely block it.
Oh, so it's even more broken than in the first game.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you start getting ridiculous items like the Hoo-Poo Feather, which makes you jump more and more. Basically, just getting double, triple jumps.
Procedurally generated items?
No. The levels are somewhat
vast. Yeah, there's quite a vast amount of items as well.
So it's more like the Starbound approach.
Yeah, kind of.
Because I really like the procedurally generated ones, the guns in Borderlands. I recently there's this thing that you can get where it's always a Jacob's shotgun that does like fire damage.
Jacobs?
Jacob's gun.
Jacobs is usually not an elemental.
It's one of the legendary things.
Oh, okay.
And it always has a really fast reload speed, and whenever you shoot it, it has like a I don't know what you call it, just one hit on like an electric guitar, like down, down, down. It's every time when you shoot it, and it's so because it does so much fucking damage. It's one of my lowest level guns, but I still use it. I just slide around the battlefield because you can one hit pretty much any opponent if you know how to shoot it right, and that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, you do get some ridiculous items of this, like, what was it, the Aegis Mask, which literally you get a 1% chance to summon enemies you defeat as allies. So imagine the most powerful boss, apart from the last one, in-game. 1% chance to summon him as an ally unit. It's like...
That's pretty fun.
Then you get...
Good in the battle against the last boss.
Then you get...
Please look at the mug I've sent in there. I need this, but I can't find it anywhere, sadly.
Yeah, by the way, you can just continually just play forever as well.
Wait, what's that mug say? What's that mug say?
That's like the
You've killed him.
That's like the official slogan for radio.
So yeah, if you have
goes in the ear, stays in the head. H and K.
Yeah. It's like the famous Germans. Anyone who's ever listened to radio in Germany, it's like the ad to sell you radio ads. It's Radio. Geht ins Ohr, bleibt im Kopf. So, you know, enters your ear, stays in your head. Yeah, but this is for like
the electric ukulele. So wait, to get back to Risk of Rain, one of the most hilarious items is probably the electric ukulele. The only description you need to know is, Andy's music was electric. Can you guess what it does?
No, I cannot. I literally
just shoots lightning arcs. It is the most dumb item. No, it's a fun game. Just buy it and play it. The music also is pretty darn good.
Yeah, the music slaps.
Music is fucking great.
I do like the Borderlands music too.
Yeah.
I'm just really looking for something that'll scratch my Borderlands itch the moment I have like the bonus content for BS3 through. Which, I mean, they always come with a fuck ton of content. But I did the one where you're on this post-apocalyptic planet with the dinosaurs called Gehenna. They did a really cool thing where they like mixed Wild West and Japanese architecture and culture.
Wasn't that already a thing during the Wild West?
But not in the. It doesn't matter if it was a real thing. It matters if it's something that's represented in art.
Yeah. Okay. So
and it's the problem is I had this idea as well for like a Lancer campaign, but then I found out that Borderlands did it after I had come up with the idea. By the way, so that kind of pissed me off. I mean, it was something that's on a notepad of mine. It's not something that I went public with. And also, let's be honest, it's not that outlandish a thought. It's not like the most original. It's like, what if I put a mayo on a hamburger? You know, it's not. Fucking. Okay, I wanna. So she sent me a good message just now, but I have to finish the
stream
first. Yeah. Yeah. No, somebody published a paper.
Oh dear lord.
Cool. What?
People be allowed to vote in women politicians?
God, that is the most cursed border I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Gorbachev, what have you done? Dude. That is the most cursed border. Why? Why would you post that?
Oh,
bruh.
I have posted far worse shit in the streams.
Oh yeah. You best be careful.
Holy shit! That shield bash. Oh, fuck! I could feel it.
So are there like different realms that you go to, basically?
Yeah.
How many stages are there now? Like
there's a total of 5 stages before you either loop back or go to the final boss. But there's about 2 2 different level types per stage, which you get ported across randomly. And
I'm
I think
really
there's like
interested in like
3
having
variants each.
different enemy types that have interesting things that they can do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely do. So you've got like electrical, which shock you after you get hit, which is really a bummer. You got, standard fire and what was it? Fire and ice types, but then you got stuff like nocturnal, and I think what was the other one? There was nocturnal and one that disables your healing. Like all healing items have no
Malachite.
effects if you get hit.
Have you guys ever looked at, you watch my channel, you've probably heard of
they're
like
called
Numenera, right?
Heard of what?
Numenera.
Heard of what?
Wait, you have a YouTube channel?
Roman Rider.
Oh, right, yeah.
Moon Rider.
Numenera, for anyone who still has.
Oh, Numenera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah, it
that's
sounds familiar, but I don't recall what it was.
So it's this,
like
it's like
Dice's-
this far future setting that has just absolutely.
Why is he dying? Every time he starts something, it's like he's dying of laughter.
So it has these like really weird fucking enemy types, right? And not just like enemy types, just creatures that exist in the setting that have like absolutely no, like they're just completely wild. There was a point where I made some screenshots of some of them. And I'm gonna try and post them and like read you the descriptions of these creatures because they are fucking wild. Okay. Oh fuck!
boy.
I lost them. There they are. Okay. So, fucking look at like studio chat, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to open this separately and read it, but you can see the picture of the creature, like the rhino-looking thing. Thusks are servants of the Zathanoth. But what precisely is the Zathanoth? Only Thusks know, and they're either unable or unwilling to do more than proclaim their allegiance to it, because these things can talk. But if the actions of the Thusks are any guide, the Zathanoth is an entity or principle that directs adherents to eat up all life, whenever and wherever it's found, because that's what Thusks do when they discover plants, animals, or humans. Perhaps the attempt to consume flesh is a means to a greater end. If so, those who are eaten might discover that the greater purpose in their transcended state. Okay, there was something really strange about this, though. If a Thusk uses an action to open its mouth and emit a horrifying screech that coincides with rapid pulses of light from the illuminated lines covering its body, all foes within long range who fail intellect defense task are stunned. Hey, that's not actually all that funny. What the fuck? Where is the
Losing. Is it perhaps interactions?
Where's the funny one? No. Where is the weird one? Oh my god. How about this one? The Quover, right?
God, what are these? Who comes up with these?
They all look so fucking weird. Elusive because they hide in plain sight, creatures called the Quover transferred their consciousness into fox-like creatures about 2 meters in length. That was ages ago. Since then, they've explored the wide lands, running and exulting in mere existence, unrestrained from responsibility, which frankly sounds really cool. Most Quover never interfere with other creatures unless it's to defend themselves or have allies they've made. A few sometimes learn things they wish to pass on. When this happens, Quover open their eyes especially wide, which appear as great voids of space filled with distant stars. To speak with others, a Quover must mentally inhabit a host creature for a time. God damn. Oh, fuck. They're so fucking weird. This is, I think, from the video itself. No, actually, the one that I'm going to show you is actually kind of funny, right? It's fucking. So the Gru, right? Basically, what they do is that these humans with like these photograph faces. On these panels, they project an image of human face that speaks and makes expression as a human would. Thus, Gru are humans with machine minds. They're basically just obsessed with their physical appearance. It's and it fucking
Baby girls.
yeah, it's goddamn. The creatures in this fucking game are so incredibly weird. There's like, for instance,
They're so unique.
yeah, they're too unique is the problem, I think. These, for instance, they're like architects,
fuck?
and what they will do is they will take out those eyes that they have and shoot them at you and use them to send you into the future several minutes. That's what it does.
Who comes up with this shit?
And then
Drugs.
they move away or something.
Indeed. You're correct.
Who comes?
Harder. I want to play Numenera now.
It is
how do you-
really cool. I have to say, it is really cool.
Dude, this sounds lit.
Okay, I have to crop this screenshot real quick, but
Shit, I'm sorry. I just got back. What are you guys talking about?
Numenera.
Numenera. Oh, nice. Yeah. Now, you got me into Numenera. I love. Well, I think I talked to you before about Burger. Just that's like far, far future shit. It's like I just love that shit.
like this right here, for instance. I wanna, because it looks kind of odd. Let's just say. So the versicolor true skull is awkward, awkward lumbering beast about twice the height of an average human. They have too many legs or not enough, and each one seems to be a different length. Goddamn. When they're walking, they look as if they might topple over any moment, but when they're floating, they're beautiful, breathtaking sight. A splash of fluid grace and colors against the sky. True skulls inflate their mostly hollow bodies by taking great gulps of air into their organs, which allow them to hover 50 feet off the ground for about an hour at a time. They have 3 wavering protrusions on top of their body that they use as rudders or perhaps sails when floating. That's really cool. They also
that's
extend
pretty
their
cool.
long prehensile stalks, which they use for catching prey. They have been known to aggressively attack someone and then walk away as soon as they have the object of information they desire, because true skulls seek knowledge of all kinds.
So not even just knowledge. What the fuck?
They steal like books and shit.
Like,
It is the shit you've seen.
It's so wild.
I know, just like
I have
who
to
comes up with
imagine-
this?
I have to imagine you walking through the forest. All of a sudden, you get attacked by one of those beasts, and you start technically just rephrasing your entire life in hopes that something of that is something they want to know and leave you alone.
It's incredible.
Oh,
Genuinely, there's so much weird shit, and I've been so there's a problem with Numenera in that it's too alien, in my opinion, right? So what I've been thinking about is,
Well, I
how-
mean, it's set like 5 billion years in the future.
Yeah.
So
I think, like, from a player's perspective, it's too alien. So what I've been sort of playing around with as an idea is to have a far future setting. It's only like a couple thousand years into the future, which is completely sufficient. And it's sort of like a mixture of Numenera and maybe like Borderlands a little bit, where the premise is that there used to be these things called. So there's only a few trillion humans, which is a very loose term at this point, in the solar system, because like basically every planet is colonized and like it's space stations galore and shit. And it used to be like many, many, many times more than that. But the problem is that the god minds, which used to take care of humanity, sort of like vanished. People not sure what exactly happened, but it's clear that they knew this was going to happen because they decided to turn all of the unfathomable technology that they had into formats that like make sense to humans intuitively, because humans haven't done science in forever, and just the technology is so advanced that human minds cannot comprehend them. So what they did, like all of these extreme weird nanomaterials and shit, they transformed them into basically alchemical materials that have really strange names and properties, like glowing ice, which is just ice, right? But it doesn't have a temperature. At least, like, if you touch it, it doesn't have temperature. But if the environment, it will melt still and lose many of its properties, especially like its glowing property. You have weeping obsidian, which is obsidian that literally weeps. And all of these things are like very complex nanomachine shit. Different species of nanomachine. And the way that humans utilize them, they harvest them and basically use them like alchemy-like. Because alchemy, chemistry works, right? Alchemy doesn't work. But alchemy is very intuitive to humans. That's how it was created, essentially. As we just thought what feels right.
Yeah.
And this is basically how these god minds designed all of their nanomachines. So you have all this like weird shit from way back when in all these civilizations, because it's like a post-apocalyptic, post-scarcity setting. And you also, this is the coolest thing, I think. You have this you have cyberspace that's basically you can physically enter cyberspace, and it's sometimes not even obvious that you've done this, like similar to how you can enter the Fae. And there's the huge sections of cyberspace that are basically like the deep web, which are just the dreams and nightmares of ancient AIs called the wilderness. Which is just like endless simulations of natural selection. And a lot of the creatures in there's entire virtual civilizations that have arisen from like artificial machine evolution, and they can actually enter into the physical world if they find a way, because you can get into cyberspace and leave cyberspace. And this way, through the wilderness, you can basically walk from Earth to other planets.
What the fuck?
But it's very dangerous.
So this is like kind of remind me of there's a manga out there called it's called Blam, but it's spelled blame.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a far future manga as well, but it's essentially what it is like. Back in the deep past, humanity built these giant robots, these giant constructor robots to build a city. And the robots got loose and they just never stopped building. So they eventually turned the entire Earth into the city. And they didn't stop. They started bringing in the moon, Mars, Venus.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, actually.
They just keep going. And the protagonist, called Killy, he's trying to find a human that has a certain gene, because humans used to have a genetic marker that allowed them to control the city and control everything, but something happened and they all died off, and he's trying to find a human that has that gene to get the city to stop growing. And what I love about the manga is that there's barely any talking. There's barely any talking in it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just these beautiful pages of just giant.
I think I do know. There was I forget whose video it was, but it was a video about.
PewDiePie.
No, it wasn't PewDiePie. It was someone who made it. Was an essayist, one of the video essayists. He also made a video about caves, but this one was about cities that are not designed for humans. And he also talked about a special video game, but I'm pretty sure he talked about that manga too. And I thought it was absolutely fascinating.
Either Austin McConnell or KLS Phillips, I think.
And it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Actually, it might have been Austin McConnell though.
But
I don't know. It's one of them.
The thing I love about it is that the creator of this manga, Tsutomu Nie, he's not a manga artist. He's an architectural artist.
Oh damn!
So like all of his artwork, it's just these vast complexes, just mind-bending architecture of just like how, and it's obvious he drew and designed the city in a way. It's like, how would you design something that's looks like it could be used by humans, but it really can't?
There's a really fine line that you have to walk.
Yeah, and there's also concepts about time and stuff, because Killy thinks, like when the manga starts, he thinks he's 3,000 years old, but he's not sure. And there's like a portion of the manga where he's walking down and up this ramp, and it takes them 4 years to walk it. It's just, and it's like you have no idea how far in the future this is, how big the city is, where these constructor robots are, if he's going to be able to stop any of this, because it just, and there's like tribes of humans and like subhumans
but clearly they're like immortal, right?
Yeah, they're in some way immortal, because it's like, yeah, these people are like thousands of years old, and it's just they don't know, and there's barely any talking.
That's
and
really
it's just,
cool.
Barely any dialogue at all.
So I have this. This is also one of the things that you'd find in Numenera, and also this setting that I sort of mix together, where you'd have this like these things of machine maladaptation. But something that I find equally interesting, which is something that you get in Numenera, is like just leftover technology, where you have just you cannot even begin to guess what that was useful for at some point, and a lot of it, the time, it also is like malfunctioning. And they express this through like the oddities, and oddities are some like just really weird shit. I have like a random generator whipped up. I want to read some of these. So a square of ice 3 inches by 3 inches by 1 inch that never melts, never feels cold, and cools liquids. Actually, this is pretty obvious what this might be used for. So that's really cool. The same is true about like a cape that billows even when there is no wind, which is like, come on, we all know why we need this. A rhomboid of solid stone that sometimes turns into liquid but always reforms. A pair of glasses that shows only shadows. A small ring that can be scanned over anything and becomes the color of the item scanned. Semicircular device of metal and glass that projects a harmless, thin red beam up to 15 meters when activated. Why would... You know, they're so useless sometimes, but they're also really interesting.
It sounds more like gadgets than anything.
Yeah, they're gadgets, yeah. A round pendant with blinking red light that syncs with the wearer's heartbeat. Actually, this one also, I can see how it might be useful.
It's like a Fitbit, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit like a Fitbit, yeah. You have a tiny hose made of rubber that squirms around as if trying to connect to something. That's all it is. No further explanation. A silver needle that always remains sharp but can puncture nothing.
Damn.
What the fuck is that useful for?
This sounds like Saturday morning mad scientist shit.
I have a point, but I can't. I have no point, but I must fucking puncture.
I have no point, but I must poke.
A metal ring that grows warm in cool temperatures and cool in warm temperatures. That also could be useful. A 1 foot bar that has the weight of steel but the flexibility of rubber based.
What?
A feathered hat that occasionally makes bird noises.
Why is that useful?
A porous stone that can be used like soap and has a fresh smell. That's pretty cool. So the oddities are like the kinds of like ciphers can actually, they're like items that you can use for useful shit. Oddities are basically just random stuff you pick up that gets handed because it's not supposed to be very useful or powerful like loot items. A small stamp that creates a bizarre design on anything edible. A crystal that creates a tiny flame when so it's like a lighter.
Let's see if this works now. Yeah.
A fist-sized hunk of wet flesh that never dries out and makes a purring noise when stroked.
Beef? I was gonna say beef jerky, but then you brought in the purring noise. I was like, what?
20 red cigarettes that, when smoked, let you exhale monstrous shapes.
That sounds awesome.
That is really cool.
That sounds awesome.
Replace the cancerous substances with weed, and I'd be all for it.
God damn. A glass box containing a living, beating heart wrapped in a golden mesh of wires. A piece of
Why?
strong paper full of written symbols. Every few days, one of the symbols rises off the paper, becoming three-dimensional, and disengages from the paper. A new symbol appears on the page to take its place.
Oh, hey, a little bit off topic. Remember when I showed you guys the Nuremberg Burger King? Here's the Minsk KFC.
Oh, there is such
Oh
a thing?
no. Minsk.
Ah, fuck.
Min-
No,
Accidentally.
you've got to be
It's a funny
joking.
joke.
That can't be real. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
I mean, it's just if it wasn't for the Nuremberg Burger King, this would just be the ultimate.
God
The
damn,
Nuremberg.
But that's pretty awesome, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
The artwork is
can we,
Oh.
like, not... I mean, it's a very nice
sorry.
ass, but...
No, it was more about the joke. It was, would you last longer with 1 minute with Mike Tyson or 1 minute with Lana Rhodes? And then it's like, I don't think I would even be able to try to get an erection with Tyson, but I'll try.
I mean, Mike Tyson is kind of hot,
Not
but
really.
he would
He's pretty
crush
old
your
now.
pelvis.
He seems
Well,
more
he was-
like... Are you into people with extra chromosomes? I probably shouldn't be talking shit about on like Mike Tyson, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, he would more or less crush your pelvis, but I'm gonna admit he was kind of hot, and still kind of is.
I mean, he's got that boxer face, like
yes,
boom, boom.
the chromosome
Version.
face.
Yeah, no, but I don't think he's got anything wrong with his
Chromosome
chromosomes. I just think he's been in the boxing ring for a bit too long.
Which
Yeah.
it's like fucking that shit can lead to like very traumatic injuries.
Yeah,
It is wild the danger that it
I
can
will
be.
say his
Oh, yeah,
list
sure, I'll
is
stop the
fucking
the edgy
hot.
jokes.
His list
Yeah.
is fucking hot.
Well, it's like
His, I'm
it's
sorry,
like,
his
um,
lisp is hot.
his lisp.
Yeah, no, his lisp sounds hot. You know?
Did you know that Tyson is really into raising birds?
I was,
Wait,
I was
really?
so
Yeah,
convinced you
yeah,
were about
yeah,
to say,
he loves-
did you know
he loves-
Tyson is
he-
really into racism?
No, I mean he like
Tyson
raises.
owns-
He
Yeah.
raises like pigeons.
That is based.
Yeah. He's,
Oh yeah,
he's-
wasn't there that Tyson show where he had pigeons in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first time I think he didn't kill someone, but he bit someone's ear off when a guy killed one of his pigeons.
God damn, that is actually cool. I respect that.
Yeah.
I do love when fucking like these tough men have just like really caring hobbies. That's actually kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is really into Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, he's like
Yeah.
really into Dungeons and Dragons.
Damn.
The same is
yeah.
true about Joe Manganiello, which is not as famous an actor as Vin Diesel, of course, but he's like a fucking basically just an underwear model. He also is really into D&D. Apparently, a lot of the people who were on True Blood for some reason are really into D&D because Deborah Ann Wall also is a big True Blood, also a big D&D person and like generally just RPGs.
Well, yeah, it's just yeah. When you're spending so much time on set not doing anything, it's like tabletop. It's not just a lot of like cast and crew like in Hollywood and shit. They'll play tabletop games. And stuff.
I feel like it also appeals to actors in a way because this is also something that I really like is like portraying a character, and I like the process of coming up with the psychology of the character myself, which is I think this is one of the main reasons I could never be an actor because I kind of need to have control over my character, right? Which is why I like doing it in RPGs, and of course actors have a talent for and are good at portraying fictional characters.
I don't mind pushing my character into bad positions. But
Oh yeah, no,
there's-
that's not even what I mean. But there's like certain, like I'm not sure I'd want to be cast as like a rapist. Or, the kid that gets molested in the make sure you do not fall for child molester shit. That's the only real role that kid got. You can just be sure of that.
Damn.
Or I mean, they might have more roles, but imagine if that were the only role you ever had. And I kind of don't like either of those positions. Are not something that I would.
You don't want to be typecast.
This year.
But I mean, especially, it's not even about being typecast. It's about I wouldn't want to portray those characters. It's got nothing to do with typecasting.
Well, then you just say no.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I still. I wouldn't want to be that picky, you know?
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Being too picky.
I know this kind of feels a lot like those tweets that some people would make where they're like, "Oh, when the actor's being racist a little too good," and it's like, yeah, he's an actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And yet, Vin Diesel, who plays D&D, cannot act to save his fucking life anymore, can he?
Oh God. Yeah,
I mean, he was good
I
in the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yes,
I will admit.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to say
Riddick.
There's a distinction to be made. Just playing RPGs and just playing D&D can be different things. D&D is not just role playing.
Sure.
In many cases, D&D is explicitly not role play.
Yeah, sure.
I can't.
I would think that D&D like games are the least role play like RPGs. But...
God, what was it? Once I was playing like an RPG set in space, and for some reason, I was like a thief velociraptor. I don't know why. I don't know how. I was just like thief velociraptor.
A thief-eruptor. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
High impact sexual violence. Oh.
Yeah, when that one episode with Pepe Le Pew and Penelope.
I mean, they got the French down straight. That's all I'm going to say about Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, I remember that one episode when he was like changed into a cat by having his stripes painted off or something, and then the cat was chasing him, and he was just the victim. That's just a cute thing. Yeah.
Aww, hippos.
Cute little monster. He's gonna grow. He's gonna grow up to eat people.
I really fucking. The only thing I like about that guy is just his lips being exaggerated.
God, I fucking hate him. He's a
Everything else is bad.
I love that picture so much. My red pills would kill you, Traveler.
No, try to do it in his voice. It's
my red pills would kill you, Traveler.
No, you're not doing it high enough. It's
my red pills would kill you, Traveler.
I can't go that high.
No, it's my red pills would kill you,
First you do imagine my shock.
Traveler comes into
my shock.
This traveler comes into my shop.
This is one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard about. Like, this is like, I don't even know where I picked up the story, but it was like a guy who likes to play D&D, right? He plays D&D with his friends. He just does it. And then he starts dating this girl, and they date for like almost a year. And she eventually just goes, yeah, well, you're going to have to like stop playing D&D. It's like, I'm sorry, what? Well, you have to grow up. I only want to be with a guy who's grown up, and playing D&D is not a grown-up thing to do.
It's like watching... Okay, so I was once watching Berserk, right? The anime. Right?
Yeah?
Oh, the old one, 1996. And literally, my parents come in, and it's like, we're approaching the moment where Griffith, just betrays the whole band of the Hawks. He's like, oh, stop watching that anime shit. I'm like, literally 5 seconds later, the entire betrayal happens.
Oh, damn, that's pretty nice.
And I'm like,
it's like, it's
sure.
an adult show, okay.
No, it's like, they just look shocked, and I'm just like, you sure this is for kids now?
The crazy thing is, this is something that I've never understood. There seem to be a lot of people whose idea of being an adult is just to never have anything fun.
Yeah,
It's
my
just
father's
lead
Yeah,
a
my father's
miserable
like that.
existence. That's what it
because you're an
means to be
adult now, and adults don't like kid things, even though being in your kid years was probably the best and most happiest time in your life.
Yeah,
unless
and
you were
honestly, I genuinely
have to
think,
be.
I genuinely believe
yeah, I know that. But
like doing kid shit is much more enjoyable as an adult.
Oh,
than it is
dude,
as a
but
kid.
Burger, you want to hear? Well, and the rest of you who don't live in like red state America, the thing about like very Christian people, especially around here, is that they treat the Bible and the stories in the Bible and the characters in the Bible is like if you listen to them and you listen to what they talk about, when they think about, what they theorize, you would just look at them and be like, you would really be into Star Trek. You would really be into Lord of the Rings.
Hell yeah.
But you decide
Nice.
that your fandom is going to be the Bible.
Christ.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, I got this cool new book. It doesn't have any rules in it, but there's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
You want to play?
Well, it does have rules in it and says we should follow them, but we could just pick and choose. Like maybe like raping the children thing. We probably won't do that, but we'll totally like stone gay people.
Again, just reform your fucking religion, Christ. It's not that hard. You've done it multiple times.
Well, I would argue it's
Christians
impossible.
usually do.
Because, I mean, you know, they've done it, right? But they're not gonna, like, you do it, but then there's always people who just go, nah.
Yeah,
I do not think I will stop
hear me
being
the fuck out.
racist.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Then that way you can ostracize them
Lord.
socially.
No, but
It's
they
like,
will
yeah.
ostracize you first.
True,
depending
but
on
then,
how big they are. I don't know.
but then you just advertise like, hey, we don't have all the fucked up rules in the book anymore. You know,
Yeah,
it's
but,
like,
like, a lot of people want the fuck up book, the rules of the book.
yeah, well,
that's the
they just get ostracized on a much larger scale socially.
No, they're just gonna get into their own little societies and become insular.
I was
You
gonna say,
can't
I'm
really
build a
reform
wall
a
around
religion.
shit,
societies
yeah, I know.
and
You
let
can't
them
reform
die
shit
out.
from the top down. It doesn't work.
I just want to say I'm glad I'm not the only person who does that. Whenever I have a question, I just add Reddit to it.
Ugh, no. Add Stack Overflow. Christ, stop using Reddit. Fucking
Based.
normies.
I don't have a big enough brain
Dear Lord.
to do Stack Overflow.
Fucking cringe. My god, you just posted cringe. You're gonna
Isn't
lose
Stack
subscribe.
Overflow just isn't that like a programming website?
Yeah. It's like a-
It's a programming forum, but it can be used for business, for just IRL stuff. It's literally for anything you want.
To be fair, I don't really get the problem people have with Reddit. Just as I get the problem
like
people have with Reddit,
general.
but like just the and to me it's always like a joke that Reddit is terrible.
Oh,
Our Reddit
shit.
moment. You should
Nah,
never go
it's-
on Reddit because it's
No,
funny.
it's not.
But like, there's
it's not
actually people who unironically believe that every single bit of Reddit is just terrible, and you should be shot for even thinking
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
true.
Oh,
I don't
yeah, that's
necessarily
true.
believe that. I just believe that Reddit generally, not necessarily talking specifics, but generally is just trash because everyone's like, oh, look at my comment, or oh, you don't follow this opinion that's, just
but there's
upvoted
like
to
certain
massive
communities
hell.
on
It's
Reddit
like,
that are like
Christ.
this.
Yeah, but they turn out to be the most massive communities out
Yeah,
there. So
that's
it's like,
true. But I don't care. There's not the communities I hang out in.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
just-
need to go there. Like, they definitely exist, and they're pretty big, but I just don't engage with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
with Discord, just find the good servers.
It's like Twitter,
yeah,
really.
exactly.
That's the...
well, to be fair, on Discord you can find a lot more good servers than you can find trash, but you do find quite a lot of trash, to be fair.
So I just want to repost this letter from Lovecraft because I feel
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that one. That
I-
one was pretty fun.
I just feel like I know so many artists and so many like writers and creators who feel the exact same way as Lovecraft does me here.
God damn. That's a good take for it.
Also,
That's a good
also along with the massive like gastric problems he's been having, since this was like in the year before he died. No, that GitHub burger that I told you about last night. It's pretty crazy to go in and be like, and to read his letters and find out it's like he eventually realized, oh, damn, I'm kind of a piece of shit.
Wait,
I
really?
mean, yeah. Most of everything is like, you know, I think you need to have pretty good self-reflection for this kind of shit to like do what he did. Which, you know, that I don't think that redeems him as a person, though.
No. I mean,
I also don't think it diminishes his genius and how good his writing is.
No, I mean, he was still a massive racist, but he was still a genius.
Yeah.
A genius racist.
Yeah. But it's nice to know that at least before he passed away that he had some self-reflection, and you know he had regrets about what he did, what he believed in, and what he talked about.
As well.
But like then you have to consider, would he have come up with all the genius shit he came up with if he hadn't been racist? Because like a lot of like the many of the central themes and the inspiration for Lovecraft is like xenophobia, fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like I do kind of like some other interpretations I've heard. Like I know some people don't like this guy, but H Bomber Guy's Lovecraft video was pretty good because he kind of like reinterpreted a lot of the lore to talk about specifically like mental illness. And like,
you know, say H Bomber Guy has some good takes.
To be fair, you can take pretty much anything that exists and reinterpret it in any way. And you'd be fine. And if that's something, like if for instance, like the Matrix is clearly not a metaphor for being trans, but
you can
see it that way, and if that helps you in any way, more power to you.
And in a way you can kind of like interpret, you know, the Winklevoss or
Winklevoss twins, yeah.
The Winklevoss.
The Facebook guys as well. Or the Facebook movie guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see those the Facebook brothers are doing like NFTs now?
Yeah.
NFTs.
I mean, people talk about them like they're these big victims. They're still like massive millionaires.
And they're also huge douchebags.
Sure,
yeah. They're like big dude bro douchebags as well.
I mean, who isn't, right?
Yeah.
I'm going for biggest douchebag. I'm not really doing anything wrong.
Trying to win the Logan Paul Award for the biggest douchebag.
No.
Oh yeah, I think am I the first person on the server to get their vaccine?
Wait, you did?
I got
Caesar has his vaccine.
Yeah, Caesar got a vaccine because he works in healthcare.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm probably.
You might be the first human to get it.
Yeah.
Damn privilege. Goddamn.
Well, yeah, I got it. I got it at Walmart.
This is the most American shit.
Well, no, because the CDC has a whole website. It's like find a vaccine site near you, and so I went to go use that. I'm like, okay, I want to get it at the end of the month, and they were like, literally the only place in your area that still has appointments is Walmart. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I should have posted more pictures of it because, like, yeah, I went to the pharmacy and I signed in. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm in group 1E. Here's my CDL, so you know I'm not lying. And they got my info, and they're like, okay, head over to the garden center. And the garden center is where we're doing the vaccination. So it's like I go stand in line there, and there's like people shopping around me, like picking up like pet food and like picking up charcoal grills and charcoal. And I'm just like, and I get up to the front of the line, and the guy is like, and the technician is like, talking to me, and we're chit chatting. I'm not really paying attention. And he's like, "Okay, you got the shot," and I didn't even know he stuck me.
Damn. Here's something that really, really pisses me off about the coronavirus, right? So it's the EU's management and handling of it from a very early point on, right? Because most of the vaccines that are actually good and effective were developed in Europe, right?
Yeah.
The Pfizer vaccine was developed in Europe. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine was developed in Europe. The AstraZeneca vaccine was developed in Europe. The only one developed in America is the Moderna one, and that one was developed mainly by the government.
I mean, they also shipped vaccines to the UK, and then the UK didn't ship some back to you.
Oh yeah. So basically,
because we're fucking idiots.
All of the countries, all of the countries do this, and which in all honesty, I find is a reasonable perspective from like the position of leadership of the country. Vaccinate our people first. Do not export vaccines to countries that also manufacture vaccines. Europe does not do this. Europe continues exporting massive amounts of vaccines into the United States and into the United Kingdom, which is why the vaccination campaigns in those countries are so far along, because we make these vaccines in Europe and we provide them there, but we get nothing back. And this neoliberal hyper-capitalist, the free market will solve this. They're just gonna be nice about it and also help us with the resources that they have. The EU has completely failed to even enforce the contracts that it has with these vaccine manufacturers, because much of these vaccines was also developed with fuck tons of EU money, and now the United Kingdom of all people is benefiting the most from this EU money.
Yes, because
Boris Johnson
you're
literally
fucking
said
commies,
that,
is what?
Because the
their
EU
success was the thanks to greed and capitalism. He literally said that.
Well, it's because like our vaccine program has gone so well, and now we have so much of the vaccine. It's like we're gonna start giving it to Canada and Mexico now.
Oh yeah, Canada has been buying vaccines. So there's a BioNTech Pfizer plant in Michigan where they produce a lot of the vaccines in the United States. But if you get the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine in Canada, it's gonna have been produced in Germany or somewhere else in Europe, because America does not export.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna start exporting once like in the next like
but you have to get, like, there's the United States probably like in May, or I mean, to be fair, you've never really taken lockdown all that seriously.
No, absolutely not.
The United Kingdom, for instance, probably like in mid to late May is going to be able to return to a lot of normalcy. No country in the European Union will be able to do this, because the EU has refused constantly to show any amount of teeth in terms of having a good vaccination plan. And currently Germany
it is kind of amazing that like how shitty we've been with the lockdown and everything is the reason why we're vaccinating so fast. It's like we have to do this before we all die.
But also you're just getting vaccines from
it's also because of the
Europe.
We create short-term problems to get long-term solutions.
Also, I posted a picture of my vaccine doc. There's no info on it. I just wanted to prove that. It's like, I was at Walmart. It says Walmart right there, and there's a standee for dog biscuits.
So right now, how high is the percent? Okay, percentage.
I can't remember exactly for the UK.
People, US, right?
Oh, it's I think it's over 100.
The one thing I am worried about is we're gonna have a worst case of COVID. Because, I don't know if people know this, but there's supposedly a Brazilian, they found 2 to 3 carriers that went to Brazil and caught the Brazil variation of the strain, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
there's
worried.
like
It's
6
like it's
people in the Netherlands.
The
Yeah.
vaccine, most of the vaccines work against that one as well, though. So
Yeah.
in Germany,
I'm
we
scared
only have 11.6% of the population that have been vaccinated once.
goddamn.
Only 5% are fully vaccinated. Only
Goddamn.
5. We are the country that invented the first vaccine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're 16.6 fully vaccinated. 16.6.
That is so wild.
My
That's
state,
just
yeah,
crazy.
South Dakota's 23% fully vaccinated, and we give out 8,500 vaccinations a day just in my states. It's
That is
insane.
how it
Putain,
should
foutu,
work.
quoi.
And
In-
it's
in
like it's like they're not just doing it at hospitals. It's like I said, I got my vaccine at fucking Walmart. It's like they're doing it everywhere.
In Germany, they now they decided that now this month that also like physicians are gonna be allowed to vaccinate. With like just the people who vaccinate the most, the people whose the kind of doctor that has the most experience with vaccines is only now going to be allowed to vaccinate. And the thing is, too, the big problem is just the fact that we do not have enough vaccines because we continue exporting the vaccines and not enforcing our contracts. And also, this is a Germany-specific problem, too. They just sort of stopped coordinating shit in terms of, because we have the third wave right now. The numbers are climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and they did the numbers were climbing already when they were opening up a little bit, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop doing this. You can see the numbers are climbing. But they did it anyway because they announced they would do it, because Germany is essentially a country that is run on autopilot. And now the federal government is basically throwing up their hands, going, well, I don't know. Yesterday I was on a walk. I thought, oh, it's a nice sunny day. There might be some people in the park. So I go into the park. It looked like a fucking festival ground. I posted that.
No.
It looked like you were in the U.S.
It's literally worse.
Holy shit.
The air was so thick with barbecue smoke, you could barely see across the park.
Oh man!
They did that in the Netherlands as well with in Amsterdam.
God, this sounds just like Hyde Park. Well, Hyde Park we can't. In any of our parks, I don't think we're allowed barbecues, but everyone is literally sitting down, having lunch and whatnot, and just so many people walking around. It's like lockdown's not even happened in any of the parks.
And the reason for this, I 100% blame the government for this, because by doing these sort of openings in the lockdown that we had, they have signaled to people, no, everything is fine. And they said back then, because the scientists were like, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this. Oh, please, God, stop doing this. Like, oh, no. We can just tell them we have to go back into a strict lockdown again. And now what they've done is they sort of went, yeah, if you won't feel like it, maybe you can go and restrict the home. That's basically what happened. And so all of the people think, oh no, it's fine now. There is not the sense of urgency anymore. Meanwhile, you have hospitals being filled to the brim with people who are going to die because there's just no coordination anymore in how to handle the lockdown. The reason we are not going into a hard lockdown in this country right now is simply because it might hurt the governing party in the polls at the election we're going to have at the end of the year.
I have something to say to this.
Yes.
Recently, on work, I have been watching MoMA, breakfast TV, and they had an interview with the state governor of Saxony. I think it's Saxony.
Yeah.
The man didn't even. That was directly after the first press conference of the chancellor and the president, where they said, "Yeah, we're going to lock down over Easter," and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, could you maybe just reassure the people what is happening now. Well, I've been looking at my phone. Really, I don't know.
Oh,
Okay,
they basic. This is the Easter lockdown had to be cancelled because the people, the government, the like Merkel and fucking the Minister of Health just invented new terms. Like they said, there's gonna be a rest day on these 2 days, and people were like, "Hang on, what the fuck is a rest day? What is
I can
that,
tell
legally speaking? Do I have to go to work? Do I not go to work? What does this mean?" And instead
I
of like
can tell
clarifying
what-
that, they went, "You know what? Actually, Easter lockdown is cancelled."
Oh my god! You know what?
Jesus Christ.
I will admit I have not been paying much attention to the rest of the world. You know, because in regards to the pandemic, just because it's been so
Oh, it's so
up until
depressing.
recently. Up until recently, it was just so bad here in the States, and like literally for like a few months, all the coronavirus news I got about the rest of the world was from Sir Swag in his monthly news videos.
They
And
are
it's like-
pretty good.
and it was always like the United States leads the world in COVID deaths, followed by Brazil and India. So I never really paid attention. It was like, okay, it's us, Brazil, and India doing the worst. And now I'm like looking at
technically China, but
well, China's not reporting anything. Everything's
Yeah.
perfect over there. You go, well, what Uyghurs? What cotton picking children are you talking about? You fucking capitalist pig. Anyway, no. So now I'm like looking at the Google News like COVID statistics, reporting and the map and everything. It's like Jesus, like nearly 150,000 people in the UK are dead. 76,000 Germans. It's like holy shit! Oh my
Yep.
god! I thought you guys were doing so much better. No, and I'm not saying this in a joking manner or be condescending. I really do hope you guys are okay because it's
Oh
like
yeah,
we're
it's so we're
I mean-
better
I mean-
than
I
the
mean, we're-
US, but
We're
you know,
we're
still
as good
fucked.
as can be, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still
yeah,
trying.
because it's just like, yeah, we fucked up for a long time, but it's like, now we're digging in deep with the vaccine, and that's actually
yeah.
probably going to save us. And it's like Jesus Christ, you guys aren't doing that. It's like, yeah, it was always like the U.S. India or U.S. Brazil and India. It's just like I just stopped paying attention to the rest of the fucking world. And apparently, Russia's been lying about their stats.
100%.
Oh,
it's Russia.
that's. I'm not surprised that if we found out that China's been lying about their stats. Like, there's
'cause
so many
it's-
countries where you're like, if the stats came out to be wrong and turned out to be higher, I would not be surprised.
So, Cole, you wanted to say something. I'm about to like end the stream, so I'm gonna give you the last word, essentially.
I forgot.
It was something about the German management of the Easter lockdown. Ruhetag.
Yes. The plan was that everything that sells food is open, which is why I work, but everything else has to close down. So restaurants, I think even hotels are open for whatever fucking reason. Bakeries, food chains, all open, but everything else has to close.
This is so fucking quintessentially German, is because there has been a decision, and because of like some bureaucratic categorizations, we will now also let hotels open, even though there's no reason for this. They're not necessary, but they count as food serving establishments on paper. That is how this fucking country is run. It's just
we
Yeah,
got it
um,
on here.
the paper
Is that-
says this, therefore it's right.
Yeah. Is that hotels
Sounds
could
like a
stay
good
open but restaurants had to stay closed. But you could book a hotel room to go to the restaurant in the hotel,
It's so funny.
which is basically because they could serve their guests, but they couldn't
Yeah,
just open
damn.
the restaurant to everybody.
Sounds like it's
what
time
was
for a
what was the
revolt.
fucked up? What was the fucked up thing I learned? So if you're I don't know if it happened recently or if it was a while ago during the start of lockdown, but if you came back to the UK or if you came to the UK, you had to quarantine to a hotel to a designated hotel, but you had to pay for it. The government wouldn't pay for it.
I thought that was Canada.
And the worst part was it was the most expensive hotel there was. It's like something like
that was Canada.
And remember Nigel Farage just not doing that and just posting like a picture of himself in a pub like a day after arriving.
Well, Nigel Farage is a cunt. Obviously, he's not going to fucking respect the rules because he's a fucking cunt.
Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you around.
See you around, cunts.